governance. It is a new way of administration. What do you expect the president to say on that issue?
Yeah, the broad-based arrangement really anchors and implements, it's anchored on Article 10 of the Constitution, national values and principles of governance, which really underpins what we call inclusivity. Are we as a country able to pick up together after an election and form a government that is all-inclusive and undertake development in all parts of the country equitably? The version and the practice that has been in the past is that it is winner takes it all. You take development to those who voted for government, and you don't take the development to those who did not vote. That has been practiced, despite the provision of the Constitution, despite the very existence of our Constitution. The president has demystified this. Even before forming the broad-based government, we saw him mobilizing development in Nyanza backyard, the backyard of Raila Odinga, before even engaging Raila Odinga. And when the broad-based government was established, that strengthened the programs that were already in place in what was perceived to be the opposition zones. And you know, in leaping the country to the first world, you must develop every part of the country. So you don't look at politics. Don't look at those who oppose you and those who support you. Infrastructure is for the entire country. Development is for the entire country. Manufacturing is for the entire country. We've got an extremely diverse nation, both geographically and in terms of economic practices and cultural. And that you need to integrate the whole of that. We saw the president in a blitz of dealing with the economy of the people of Kajiado, handing back the Amboseli to Kajiado. You know, the people of Kajiado will be able to take and control their programs and run their resource at the park. We saw the work that he was doing in Maralal, and very extensive and detailed tour of Ukambani, where it is perceived to be in the pocket of one individual as a political territory. Those are things that must be broken, and we bring the entire country on board. So the philosophy of inclusivity, no president in the history of this country has worked on total inclusivity against the existence of many hurdles, like what President William Ruto has done. And the broad-based government arrangement philosophy has worked well. And away from the simple noise from the united opposition who are trying to poke holes on what the president is doing, the people of Kenya give it to President William Ruto for really, truly, through the philosophy of broad-based and through direct personal visit and mobilizing development in every part of the country, including what is perceived to be the opposition. And in terms of outlining as per the economic charter of every county, the president is not speaking from the blues. There is an economic charter he signed, he negotiated and signed with every county. And that has got things to do with infrastructure, things to do with the social development, that is health, education, and other programs. And that is what the president is working on. He's not working from the blues. There is a master plan, economic plan for the entire country. And if we are leaping the country to the first world, you must develop every part of the country. And so the broad-based government arrangement is a philosophy that fully fulfills provision of Article 10 of the Constitution. But when you talk about state of the nation, Professor, many argue that we appear rather as a nation and a society to have gone back to a lot of tribal exchanges, especially on social media. That in itself probably is what the president tried to cure last year with what he called an all-inclusive government, the broad-based arrangement. Has it worked? And the state of the nation now, 1 year later?
Fred, first of all, let's be clear that the Constitution of Kenya do not acknowledge anything called broad-based government, because we call it the government of Kenya. There is no Kenya Kwanza government. There is no ODM government. Even there will be nothing like Ruto government, but you can call Ruto administration because he's the president and then he bears all the weight that comes with that being president. But remember, there are some people who say, my government. Kibaki did call it my government, but it's not my government. The government is the government of Kenya. In fact, he used to have a television house media house called GOK, Government of Kenya. And then there's VOK, Voice of Kenya. So Voice of Kenya talking to you on Government of Kenya. Let's be honest, the Constitution does not recognize these things called broad-based government. When I become president, there'll be nothing like broad-based government, there'll be Government of Kenya. You don't have to emphasize. And then there's a problem why these guys are thinking is inclusive. In fact, ODM people is the problem. They are confusing ODM being in government with Luos being in government. These are two separable matters. ODM is in government, that is true, but not Luos are in government, because when ODM is in government, actually which ODM? Because ODM has got almost 8 factions. You hear somebody says, we are not in government. You saw the ODM at 20. There were like 3 factions. Some people saying, Raila left us in government. Some people are saying, we need to have our own government. Then we need to form a government. So which one is this in government? So even ODM is not in government 100%. There's just some factions of some people who are not there. But there's ideologues in government who believe that, in ODM, who believes that ODM was a party that was democratic, that need to have to take power. A party's role is to take power. Like my party called the Kim Alliance, its number 1 role is to take power and use that power to serve Kenyans because they are suffering. That's the main thing. You cannot join another government. Then I could say that broad-based, you try to tell us is bringing unity. It is more exclusive than inclusive. Because when you say ODM is in government, what happened? They went and changed all the committees and replaced them with other people, removing other people. So when you remove other people and you place other people, are you being inclusive? No. Inclusivity here should be looked at, for example, national values, isn't it? Does it look at the national color? Do you see more communities represented? Do you see the youth in this government? How much are women in this government? Ruto said half will be women. Today he has to tell us in the State of the Nation address whether his cabinet is half women, because that's what he promised them. So we work on your promises. This government is supposed to be for boda mama mboga, isn't it? How many boda mama mboga are in this government? But even if they're not in government, are they being treated fairly? Are they getting their daily bread? Are they getting the education working for them or healthcare working for them? And I want to take this time to address the Luo community. That do not fall in a trap that ODM is in government, you are in government. For Luos to be in government means their businesses should not suffer. I am being called by so many Luos who come from Luo Nyanza, who are given tenders to do affordable housing. They are in pending bills. They are not being paid by the government. Yet the government is collecting money from payslip to do affordable housing, and it's not paying the suppliers and the contractors. Some of them have committed suicide. Some of them have gotten pressure and have gotten a shock and have died, or some of them are in serious economic situation at the moment. Secondly, for Luos to be in government, their education should work. Healthcare should work just like all Kenyans. So Luos, don't be told you are in government. And there is no need of being in government even. Let the government deliver to everybody. The presidency is a service to everybody. Government should serve Kenyans. Because what is happening, Fred, if you are not careful, remember the State of the Nation address is not about politics. The State of the Nation address is about governance. What am I talking about? Politics is how you talk to get into power and to stay in power. But the State of the Nation is about accountability, governance, on service delivery. Have you delivered to Kenyans what is the constitutional mandate, like national security, regional peace, healthcare and education? You are not there to talk about broad-based government. Broad-based government is a joke. It is not anywhere written that there is a broad-based government. Those are terms which are being used to confuse Kenyans.
Right.
And I want to tell you, Kenya, let's be vigilant, because we cannot have someone lie to us twice and succeed with a lie. The same lie cannot succeed twice.
Because of time, allow me to give you an opportunity to give your parting shots on the expectations of the State of the Nation address. Just about a minute and a half, Sosyon.
I think the President's speech of accounting various issues concerning the nation, I think it's going to be candid, it's honest, and the Kenyans should treat the President's speech fairly. On audit it properly, and we expect parliamentarians then to scrutinize at the debating stage and flag out key issues. The President's State of the Nation speech should not be a political contestation, because the presidency is above politics. And I believe this message will be delivered in the context of statehood for the country. It is a state of our country for all of us, delivered by the president. We shall have many presidents going into the future. And there are moments when a president should be left to be above political political issues like what Fred Ogola is doing here, trying to measure himself with the sitting president in terms of contestation of 2027. Far from it. Let's get out of that context. Treat every word and letter and sentence of the president's speech, and let us preserve the successes. Acknowledge and preserve the successes of the president. And let us appreciate the gaps, the shortcomings of implementation of various programs, and support the intervention measures that the president will propose, or the country should even propose further intervention measures through the people, through parliamentarians, because the Constitution gives Kenyans sovereign power to exercise their power directly or through the elected representatives. So the people of Kenya will be debating the president's speech through the elected representatives from next week, Tuesday. I think it is time as a country we treat this moment very seriously, very meticulously, and we deploy our minds and working infrastructure so that we can have a better country.
Thank you so much, Mwalimu.
And achieving the dream of the first world by 2055 is possible. Let us all debate as a country, what should we do and what are the building blocks of getting Kenya to the first world. The president is already taking steps. Can we pick you as citizens? Separate politics from the wider good of development.
Let's allow the professor his minute also for
So fellow Kenyans, Kenya is already first class because we have a very well-educated young people. We have a very well-educated population. We are first world by education, by human development, but also Kenya is blessed with huge national resources, but Kenya is also strategically, geopolitically placed. So according to me, Kenya is really first world. The problem is that Kenya is being ruled by third world thinking leaders. And I want to tell you that world-class wealth begins with the world-class thinking. So today, as you listen to your president, ask yourself whether that speech is world-class thinking and can take you to first world, or is a third world leader leading a first-class nation or world-class nation dreaming that he's the one to take us there. Actually, he's taking us away from being first world or being world-class by the grossly corrupt administration and grossly incompetent administration not based on meritocracy, but just based on PR and governmentizing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Fred Ogola, an expert in economics and governance, and Mwalimu Wilson Sosion, a veteran educationist and unionist, and also having served as member of the National Assembly. Our very first panelists this morning, as we continue with our special coverage of the State of the Nation Address 2025, which is anticipated in Parliament this afternoon. President William Ruto expected to address the nation before a joint session of Parliament. We will continue with this. We still do have reporters and other anchors